Good evening. Department of Trade and Industry Chief Alfredo Pascual has resigned from his post. In a statement, the Presidential Communications Office says Pascual's resignation will take effect on Friday, August 2. The palace also says President Bongbong Marcos accepted Pascual's resignation after a meeting in Malacanang. Marcos says the country is beginning to see the fruits of Pascual's focus on micro, small, and medium enterprises. No successor has been named yet, but the palace says the search for Pascual's replacement will commence immediately to ensure a seamless transition and continuity in the VTI's initiatives. In a separate statement, Pascual confirms his resignation, saying he will return to the private sector. He also thanks President Bongbong Marcos for the opportunity to serve in the cabinet, calling it an extraordinary privilege and honor. According to Pascual, his role as DTI chief has been one of the most challenging yet fulfilling experiences of his career. Davao City 1st District Representative Paulo Duterte, the Vice President's husband, lawyer Mans Carpio, and the former Customs Commissioner Nicanor Faeldon are facing a drug smuggling complaint for their alleged involvement in the 6.4 billion peso shipment of crystal meth seized in 2017. Former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV filed the complaint against the trio and several others before the Department of Justice on Wednesday, July 31, for violation of Republic Act No. 9165 or the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002 and Republic Act No. 3019 or the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. Also named respondents are Taiwanese businessman Charlie Tan, some Davao local officials, another Taiwanese businessman, and a retired military official from Davao. The case stemmed from a May 2017 issue where 602.2 kilograms of crystal meth worth 6.4 billion pesos were imported from China using the Bureau of Customs Express Lane. The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee at the time had conducted a series of public hearings which revealed that the contraband was given a green lane passage to slip through the customs alert system and did not undergo physical inspection or document verification. Trillanes notes that there are credible documentary and testimonial evidence gathered against the respondents, even alleging that Tan is the main drug lord in the case.
Ang pinakang drug lord dito ay si Charlie Tan, nakapartner ito ni Michael Yang. Magkapareha sila ng triad. Tapos ang naging protector ay sila Pulong Duterte at Mans Carpio. Tapos ang mga naging facilitators naman ito na naipasok ito at naipuslit palabas ng customs ay sina Faeldon, sina Allen Capuyan at iba pa na mga na-mention dun sa case.
Meanwhile, Representative Duterte welcomes Trillanes' move, saying it will allow him to address the accusations through proper legal channels. The lawmaker also maintains his innocence and expresses confidence in the country's judicial process. 8 areas in Cavite are now under a state of calamity after the oil spill from the sunken empty Terra Nova reached the coastline of the province. In a Facebook post, Governor John Vic Remulla says the municipalities of Bacoor, Cavite, Noveleta, Rosario, Tanza, Naik, Maragondon, and Ternate were placed under a state of calamity due to the oil spill. Remulla also declares a no-catch zone for all shellfish in Cavite. In a radio interview, Remulla says the oil that reached their coastal areas settled on the seabed, affecting all the shellfish, crabs, clams, and mussels. He adds that food and cash assistance will be distributed to at least 25,000 affected fisherfolk in the province. Fisherfolk group Pamalakaya earlier expressed concern about the impact of the oil spill on the livelihood of fisherfolk. The empty Terra Nova carrying 1.4 million liters of industrial fuel sank off Bataan on July 25. Senate President Cheese Escudero says the United States' provision of $500 million in military aid is what the Philippines has been needing. In a message to reporters on Wednesday, July 31, Escudero thanks the U.S. for the unprecedented assistance and investment that the Philippines has been needing. Escudero says the military aid shows that the Philippines and the U.S. are equal partners in maintaining peace, freedom of navigation, and a rules-based approach to differences. The Senate chief also believes the assistance from the U.S. will not provoke China, citing the right and obligation of every country to strengthen its own military. On the other hand, Senator Coco Pimentel criticized the military aid from the U.S., pointing out that the U.S. could have invested in the Philippines' agricultural sector instead. On July 30, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced the U.S. would allocate $500 million in military financing to the Philippines to help modernize the armed forces of the Philippines and the Philippine Coast Guard. Blinken and U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin III met with Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo and Defense Secretary Gibo Teodoro for the 4th Philippines-U.S. Foreign and Defense Ministerial Dialogue. The 2+2 meeting comes after escalating tensions in the West Philippine Sea between the Philippines and China. Former President Rodrigo Duterte's executive order allowing online gambling operators to make games available overseas was ill-advised, according to the Marcos administration's chief presidential legal counsel, Juan Ponce Enrile. In an ambush interview, Enrile questions if it was wise to allow Philippine offshore gaming operators to operate when other countries have banned these operations. He adds that Duterte's order was ill-advised. Enrile says he agrees with President Bongbong Marcos's directive to kick out Pogos from the country. He adds that Pogo was never on his mind when he crafted Republic Act No. 7922, or the Cagayan Special Economic Zone Act of 1995, which established the Cagayan Special Economic Zone and Freeport in Santa Ana Town. Enrile did not specify which part of Duterte's Executive Order No. 13 was ill-advised, but the presidential decree released in February 2017 clarified online gambling. Under Section 3 of the Executive Order, a licensed online gambling operator is prohibited from allowing persons who are physically located outside the territorial jurisdiction of the licensing authority to place bets or participate in its games. However, the same section also states that gambling operators who want to operate outside of the government's jurisdiction can apply for a separate license with the appropriate authority. Enrile attended the House of Representatives hearing on Pogos to accompany his daughter, Cagayan Economic Zone Authority Administrator Katrina Ponce Enrile, who explained that there are no Pogos within their jurisdiction. During the hearing, the younger Enrile explained that there are internet gaming operations in the Cagayan Special Economic Zone in Freeport, but it differs from Pogos. At least 3 or 4 more local chief executives from Luzon may be involved in the operations of illegal Philippine offshore gaming operators in the country, according to Senator Joel Villanueva. Speaking at a kapihan sa Senado Forum on Wednesday, July 31, Villanueva says his office received information about these local officials through Facebook and other means, emphasizing that the reports are still unverified. According to Villanueva, the local chief executives are from Calabarzon, Metro Manila, and Central Luzon. While the reports have yet to be verified, the senator says he is certain that there are local chief executives who are dipping their toes into illegal Pogo operations.
I don't want to dwell on this information kasi nga po hindi po verified. But I will not be surprised, and I'm actually saying this, yung gut feel ko, na meron na talaga. Marami ng influence ang Pogo. I mean, with the amount of money that's flowing from this operation, lobbyists coming from chief executives from local government units, I'm almost sure na meron.
According to the senator, some of these reports have already been forwarded to the National Bureau of Investigation and the Philippine National Police. On July 22, President Bongbong Marcos ordered the immediate ban of Pogos in the country. He subsequently ordered the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation to wind down the operations of these firms until the end of 2024. Senator Bato Dela Rosa says the International Criminal Court can do whatever it wants after he was tagged as a suspect by the Tribunal's Office of the Prosecutor. In an interview at the Senate, Dela Rosa says the country has no control over the ICC, so they might as well do what they need to do. According to the senator, no one from the ICC has reached out to him yet. He is also unfazed by the reported request of the ICC prosecutor to put him under the International Police's Blue Notice. A blue notice is an international request allowing police in member countries to share critical crime-related information. When asked if he was still hoping the Philippine government would protect him from the ICC probe, the senator only points out that an investigation is one thing, while a warrant and the implementation of a warrant is another. He emphasizes that he remains unbothered by the latest actions of the ICC. Solicitor General Menardo Guevara earlier said the Philippine government could not stop the ICC's prosecutor from interviewing suspects in the alleged crimes against humanity committed during the time of former President Rodrigo Duterte. The ICC's Office of the Prosecutor tagged Dela Rosa and 4 other retired and incumbent police officers as suspects for their alleged involvement in the killings during Duterte's drug war. These are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.